The man took a liking to the magical weapon in front of him. With one hand, he lifted the weapon that weighed a staggering 90 million tons. To make it easier to carry, he even bent it and tied it around his waist. He thought it was just an ordinary weapon. After grabbing it, he left. This scared the Saintess, who had just rushed over, out of her wits. The man didn't know that what he had taken was actually the oldest magical artifact in the Magic Academy. It had a full 1,000 years of history. Generations of grand magicians had failed to break its seal, yet the man had taken it away using sheer physical strength alone. The reason the man came to get the magical weapon was actually to participate in the Academy's annual freshman selection. Although the man possessed incredible physical strength, in this age of magic, he didn't have even the slightest bit of magical power. He could only do odd jobs in the Academy. He believed he was no weaker than those advanced magicians. As long as he got a weapon that suited him, he would surely pass the Academy's selection. That day, the man and his friend were training in the practice arena. An advanced magician happened to come by. He was displeased, wondering how even a janitor could be allowed to train in the arena. He casually cast a spell to attack the man and his friend. The man's friend couldn't withstand the advanced magician's magic and fell to the ground injured. Seeing his friend bleeding profusely from the beating, he immediately charged forward to avenge him. Just as his fist was about to smash into the advanced magician's face, another hand suddenly stopped his attack. The one who stopped him was none other than the Academy's most authoritative Grand Magician. On the surface, the Grand Magician had caught the man's blow, but only he knew that his palm was trembling slightly. After all, he was the most powerful figure in the entire magic school, with more magical power than everyone in the Academy combined. Yet this man without magic had actually hurt him. He couldn't help but start doubting the man's identity. Just then, the Saintess of the Academy arrived at the arena. She was the judge for this year's Academy selection. She invited the Grand Magician to go to the classroom to watch the selection. Although the Grand Magician had many questions, the selection was also important, so he prepared to leave with the Saintess. Before he left, the man called out to him, asking if he could participate in the selection. The Grand Magician agreed to his request. The man was overjoyed. He went to the armory and picked a weapon that felt just right in his hand, ready to take part in the Academy's selection. That afternoon, the selection officially began. The first round was the test of the magic crystal orb. Each person would inject their magic into the orb. The higher their magic level, the larger the orb would become. Many magicians stepped forward to take the challenge, including apprentice magicians at the lowest level and powerful intermediate magicians. Just then, the advanced magician who had bullied the man that morning stepped forward. He unleashed his magic for the test. The orb grew larger and larger, reaching a full 10 feet in diameter, surpassing everyone who had gone before. The surrounding crowd was full of admiration, and even the Saintess thought that the champion this time would surely be the advanced magician. But to everyone's surprise, the man with no magic at all walked up. He looked up at the magic crystal orb and smirked with disdain. Then he loosened his wrists and began to perform his martial arts. As he moved, a tornado suddenly rose around him, centered on his position. Even the Academy's magically reinforced banners were blown down. The orb above his head swelled enormously, becoming as big as a hot air balloon. Its actual diameter exceeded 100 feet. Faced with such overwhelming power, the Saintess, as the judge, declared that the man had violated the rules. Her reason was that he hadn't infused the orb with magic, but had used a dishonorable shortcut to enlarge it. Even the other magicians refused to acknowledge his strength. They believed that a magicless nobody had no right to compete with them. But the Grand Magician, who had watched the whole thing, didn't agree. Seeing the man's incredible strength, the Grand Magician was deeply shocked. He suddenly recalled an ancient prophecy. Long ago, there was the most powerful god of war in the world. Though he had no magic, his martial skill was unmatched. He was stronger than all archmages combined. Before his death, the god of war had said that in 500 years, he would be reincarnated, and this year marked exactly the 500th year. The man was furious at the Saintess's judgment. He clenched his fists tightly, storming forward to question her. He had made the orb bigger with his own strength. Was he to be treated differently just because he had no magic? That was completely unfair. The Grand Magician suddenly spoke up, diffusing the situation for him. He told everyone that the next round was about to begin and urged them to get moving. Soon, everyone arrived at the second test site. This round was even harsher. The Saintess arranged a long row of fire altars. The contestants had to light them using magic. The farther away the altar they lit, the closer they would be to becoming the champion of this round. Many magicians stepped up to try, but none could light an altar farther than 15 feet away. Then the advanced magician stepped up for his turn and managed to ignite an altar 30 feet away. The Saintess looked at him with delight, believing the Academy's future rested on his shoulders. The advanced magician walked over to the man and stared at him provocatively, sure that the man would not have the luck he'd had in the first round. But the man remained calm, walking leisurely onto the challenge platform. He casually examined the fire altars for a moment, and under the expectant gaze of the crowd, he took out a wooden toy meant for children.